Alright folks, welcome back to Campaign 17. I am hanging on. It's not quite by a thread, but it's like pretty much by a thread. I mean, our support is absolutely in the tank. It's never, I don't think it's ever going to come back at this point. We're doing everything we can to clean at least Virginia proper. I forget what happened here. I think as the Union we actually cleared this, and so I don't know why this is appearing as it is. It's all a bit strange to me, but yeah, I can't remember what the plan was here with Cooper either, or even what is he a part of. It has been a while. Okay, yeah, so he should be over here with Stuart and everybody else. So that makes now which I think there are two forts with that name, and I think one of them is here. No. Alright, then I'm getting something confused with something else, because the other one is over by Nashville here. Yeah, it's all the forts up here. Now that's too bad. That is really too bad that they came back and took that, because, well, it's just one more thing we have to deal with. I think Georgia is a significant concern. We finally cleared out this part here. I believe this was the last episode. Alright, we're going to try to get into supply there. Now, Hawes can barely move, and Maney just barely cannot. Hillscore was here. That's right. They were going to try to block whatever was going on over here. Now, I don't know what the situation... Oh, they've gone all the way down here. What does this battle actually look like? Yeah, I was going to say, if this is just an HQ... barring some sort of nonsense, we should win that. Okay. I always forget how much coastline Georgia has. Alright. Well, anyways, that's that. Yeah, so I think the plan has got to be get some readiness back, meet up with Hill here, and then try to push these guys out of Georgia. I think something's just a bit off with... I thought this already happened, but if that's true... Yeah, if that's true, then you will be getting even more volunteers. They have pulled ahead, finally. Although I thought a moment ago, this is before I brought you all on, that they had like 309,000. So I don't know, maybe some contracts ended and other ones, whatever, are coming up. But anyways, all right, Hill can actually try to see who we could muster to deal with this, because we want to try to hang on in Tennessee. But one of the plans I remember I was toying with was an invasion of Kentucky and maybe doing the same in Missouri. Now, Missouri, my goodness. Well, yeah, invading Missouri, that's right. Before we can deal with that, we kind of got to deal with Arkansas. And that's right, they were running away up here for reasons I'm not sure I actually understand. All right, so that's that. Army of Florida. That's right, because when I switched over to the Union to try to recruit for them, even though they had no volunteers because they needed some volunteer acts, I don't think it was the one that just passed. I think that was actually the second take of that. Or policies. No. Acts. Well, whatever it was. It was a while ago in real life. It was like 2 weeks ago, so I haven't really been thinking about this. But Bragg was leading, I think, the Army of Florida. And then when I switched over to the Union, the AI did their usual shuffle of people. And we got a lot of lieutenant generals. Just what we need. So, yeah, we have a lot of theaters we got to worry about. Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, West Virginia, and Arkansas. I don't even think I'm paying attention to what's going on. Coast. Fort McAllister. Remind me. Oh, yeah, okay. I've never heard of that. That's right. It's this fort down here that usually never makes it in any of the campaigns that I'm playing. Admin reform. No, it's too late for admin reform. Counter-propaganda might not be, but I think rather than fighting the Union support, Because when I switched on the Union side and I looked at their support down here, they had none. It's really weird. And forgive me if I already mentioned this in a previous episode. But yeah, we can see that our support here isn't great. But when I switched to the Union side and I looked at what their support was in Virginia, it was 0. So something really isn't right there. I don't... Okay, this... What is on that movement order? Okay, yeah, that's what I would recommend. But you're out of supply, so whatever. We'll see what happens with Cooper. But okay, we'd speed things up a little bit, and I think we got the first corps here. Is there a siege going on somewhere? It sounds a whole lot like there is one. I have no idea where that's coming from. That is so weird. Or maybe there is something going on at Fort Henry I don't know about. I don't know, this is weird. I'll leave it at that. Alright, as much as I want to rush him in there, the lesson I've learned in the past is you got to get your readiness back. I don't think Sibley's going to be able to do anything on his own, so that's not really going to be a fruitful avenue. But yeah, if I could find out what the first corps actually has. Alright, if it's 11,000 and that is it, what is Hill a part of? Army of Kentucky? Alright, we're going to move Hill over here, and the reason is that we don't want them to be on ships when they engage, or transports when they engage. The first corps there, so... Army of Western Tennessee, is that... I think that's the Army group, yeah. Alright, so we'll do that. Colquitt, Alfred, not Peyton, he's hanging out there, and what is he? He's part of the Army of Tennessee. So... Oh my god. Oh, that's right. He's down here by Memphis. He was down here by Memphis. Is this some sort of weird load saving thing? Or, no, that's right. We sent him, that's right. He's all the way down here. Okay, that was... Like I said, it's been a while. Alright. I don't know what they're going to do. My guess is they probably have very little supply and very little readiness left. As you can see, Hill's got his own problems, too. Kind of to my surprise. What happens if we move him to Atlanta here? Doesn't look like we're using our rail, so he should be able to use that, save himself some readiness, get into supply, and then he might be able to ride the rails more or less to Nashville if we need him. But I don't think we do. I think right now Colquitt can defend on his own. I did see... Oh, yeah, so I don't know if this is being taken by the Union or being given back because the Union got pushed out. It's an odd one, but we'll deal with that as time permits. But I guess we're kind of in a holding pattern. In here, in Arkansas, Tennessee, not exactly a holding pattern. We are going to move Hill. Over here, all right, we actually have some stuff that moved, not just Longstreet. Yeah, we really shouldn't. Oh, uh-oh. I guess we're about to find out how big the second corps is. Oh, it's only 3,000 men. Well, that'd be our reconnaissance in force. That's another. Jeez. National debt's at 1.2 billion. How close are we here on this credit rating? All right, we're almost there, and once we do that, we're just gonna probably cut that one off. Okay, you guys can go to scouting, get that readiness back. Pickett's pretty much got it. And Pickett is part of... Okay, so he is part of all of this. So yeah, let's get him up there. What is this? Oh my goodness. So, I don't know if this battle's actually going to happen. Because when the HQ shows up and there's nothing else... I don't know. Usually when I've loaded these, they'll just give you your first, like, real core. And if that's the case, we should be okay. It's interesting how they're kind of the inverse, right? But in total, they're pretty close to one another. Now, let's see what happens. But yeah, it's been a moment since I've actually played this. It still seems like one of those things. I remember that we had a major loss when we had to refight a battle, actually out here at Fort Smith, and I think it was a major defeat. But otherwise, we had generally been winning the battles, and so we could keep national morale kind of like between 50 and 53, but national support still being drained. And that's really the lifeblood of what makes something work. All right. Holy moly. Well, I have frequently said that I like it when there are multiple objectives. My concern with something like this is it's probably going to be too favorable to defend. I'm going to put you all on pause. It looks like we know where the Union has to come in from. This kind of looks like a repeat of actually that battle that didn't show up. But, you know, maybe if the Union does capture some of those, it'll be more interesting. So let's not write it off right away. And this also gives me an opportunity to adjust the volume for battle. All right, so this is deployment. I guess we pressed play. I guess that's why things are now moving. And yeah, this is not normally how I defend this. This looks like a lot of recent battles here. Usually I like to hang back and defend along this road and defend up here. Because usually it's Elkhorn Tavern, and then sometimes it's whatever this point is called. This is, maybe it was the Huntsville Road. I don't know. But, yeah, I generally like to hang up here and then put the infantry in the fence or in the woods, shoot stuff that comes across the field here, get the angle here. If the Union also presses down here, it's actually a little bit tougher because, you know, they got roads that allowed them to move in, so you got to cover both of them, and then there's a fair amount of cover coming through as well until you're up in close range. So it's a little bit tough. I don't know how smart this is. I know that Artie sometimes has a problem seeing over crops, and so I don't see you know, it's this Arkansas map. It's kind of like the Chancellorsville of the West is what I end up calling it, but there is limited line of sight, at least as far as I can see. And so I figured I would consolidate them up here. I thought if this is the way that they're all coming through, great, and we'll get the most that we can out of our artillery. I'm not expecting too much, and we'll go find where they are. Things are moving a bit slow. I did make some mods. One of the things I'm planning to do, I don't know if it's going to make it into this video. I think it's probably too tall of an order to get it into this video, but I am planning to begin doing a little bit less commentating in the battles and instead include some War of Rights clips that can kind of stand in for some of the fighting that's going on, because we don't have the 3D graphics mod, improved 3D terrain textures mod up and working at the moment. we've kind of lost that, and yeah. So, anyways, it's something else I'm looking to do. It's gonna make this far more time intensive, but at least when the battles come, once those clips start getting integrated, you should hear less from me and be able to see more. The problem is that they're going to make the videos much longer, and so I haven't really figured out how to make those work. All right, well, we got pretty good line of sight, probably better line of sight than we should have hoped to get down here, but we know where they're coming from. That's not a problem. So I'm not sure if I'll just trail off. I think with this one I'm probably going to end up talking through, but when I do get to that point, I do want to actually talk less in these battles so that I can still use that footage for the kind of quasi-cinematic battles with the integration of War of Rights. Clips that hopefully it's going to take a long time to finish harvesting all those clips, but the goal is eventually to have those clips kind of match up with like terrain of the battlefield that I'm fighting on. That would be the goal. It's probably not going to be perfect, and I don't want it to be too repetitive, but you know, we're using all stuff from the Maryland campaign, and you know, it's War of Rights, so it's kind of the Battle of Antietam and South Mountain and Harper's Ferry, and so but even there's a pretty good variation in terrain. You have your heavily forested battles, you got your urban ones, you have if I didn't say open fields, I'm saying open fields. I think that was the one I missed, but kind of got a mix of terrain there. So I think eventually I could integrate just about all of that. We will see. All right, so did we get any intelligence that they were going to be down here? One of the things I did to prep for those battles, though, was to slow down the zoom speed of the camera. And so it seems like things are moving really slowly. They are moving slower than normal. I'd eventually like to do something about getting rid of the color bars underneath, but I don't think that's going to be possible. Okay, so you're going to do that. I think all these guys, I set them... Well, I did set them to medium range before. Who is this? Yeah, I think B Junior only has 2 brigades in his division. He's got... Well, you know what? I didn't see that battery there. I knew it was there, but the idea was to hold Buckner Sr., who only has 2 brigades, and B Junior, who only has 2 infantry brigades, back. And then Hardy and I forget who's Jenkins. They both have 3 brigades, and so we were going to let them do a bit more of the fighting. I don't know that this actually is going to be thick enough to count as forest. Oh, I did not change the mic. Hold on. Alright. That should be fine. We'll move Hardy. I think Buckner Sr. probably stays as he is.
Time now, man. Get it time now, man. Easy, boy. Easy, boy.
It's interesting. So they are moving over here. So maybe they're moving towards the store. So maybe for now, sure, as much as we all hate holding up, maybe my initial deployment was more or less the ideal one. Okay. All right, so our skirmishers found somebody. We don't need our cav to do much here. I'm a little worried that I might actually be too far to the right. Alright, just in case I forget about the cav, let's get them down in something of a fighting formation, and let's actually bring them back here. Let's call our skirmishers back since we're not sure they're here anymore.
Man.
I actually don't know how many of their men are here. I'm guessing that my orders for medium range, yeah, did not make it to the skirmishers. We'll see. We'll see if we can change their minds.
Make sure your weapon is clean.
Try to get them in the woods. I think they're in the woods. Yeah, they are.
Get in time now, man. Coffee and hot tag.
I don't know about these. Wow, they are? They are in a forest? Alright, if you say so. That was definitely Forrest Gump. I do like those sounds. The voices, the lines. Could probably just be a little bit less frequent. I never noticed that there was a graveyard over here.
We don't need to march all day again.
I kind of just felt like running. All right, so yeah, the scroll speed apparently does work, but the zoom speed is something I've been fighting with for a while. I know that you can change it here, but it seems like it doesn't hold. Like when I exit and I come back in, so this would be Battlefield zoom speed. Well, I've tried slowing it down, but then when I come back later, it doesn't actually work like that. So yeah, like that still seems really fast. I don't know, maybe that is working a little bit better, but
What was that over yonder? Make sure your weapon is clean. I can't see a thing. Keep your head, and you'll get out alive. I hope we don't need to march all day again. Make sure your weapon is clean. Sergeant, in time now, man.
alright. So that is their artillery.
I'm starving. Anybody got any extra rations? Bring me the spyglass, Sergeant. Feed the horses while we're waiting.
Alright, maybe the artillery is back a little too far here. I know that those are 3-inch. Those look like Napoleons. So let's move them up.
Feed the horses while we're waiting.
Who knows how they're going to deal with those fences.
Coffee and hardtack. Maybe not
If their artillery wants to shoot at prone skirmishers in the forest, gaining victory points too quickly. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Well, if I win here, I'll consider it a wash. I'll consider it a wash with my previous defeat, which actually came after a battle I won, but the game crashed. So, and then I'll go in the files and I'll tinker with things. And I don't mind having objectives like this, but if it's going to be like this, then the objectives have to matter far less in the overall calculation of how things are going. It's a tough thing to balance. If you don't know how many victory points you're going to get. I've never seen anything like this. And I like this. This is what I want more battles to be. It kind of forces you to not just hunker down on 1 or 2 points. And it might just be a tournament point, but now you got to play more of the battlefield. But I can't wait. Right? There's only 1 or 2 points, and it might be like a 3 point or a 5 point. Weigh it heavily. So remember when I said I haven't done this in like 2 weeks? I reversed the sound settings in OBS. So I turned down my mic and I left the game audio up, and I realized that is deafening. So it should be less of that now. It's showing that right about now my voice is maybe on par with what's going on in games. So that's kind of what we're looking for. Okay, I think we're gonna move B Junior up into the forest, just on this little rise here, so that they can shoot those brigades when the time comes. Are we firing back? Oh, okay. If this intelligence is correct, then they are really far away from friendlies. Bring our cav back to where they're supposed to be, and then possibly turn them down here as well. Though I don't love having cav in the center. We might have them move up and around. Wonder how their morale is. Now, see, their morale is actually, if it says stable, that's pretty bad. Yeah, their fighting spirit's actually really low. So, and what are we generally? Eager, 90, yeah. So, I wonder. I mean, we were far ahead before, but definitely the objectives there are skewing things. I don't know. I also got to get the AI to just use the assault stance more. I mean, it looks like they know. Like, yeah, just come up at close range. That's exactly what they should do. And just knock those skirmishers out of there rather than shoot with them. You can see how that zoom. Yeah, it still comes back, man. What are their orders? I saw that they received a courier. Yeah, I think if the AI just goes into assault more often, it should help. How did my artillery do here? Anything? Nothing? Wow. Oh. They left their prone position in the woods. Alright, these guys got my beloved Ace of Spades. And they got nada. And they got Fayetteville's. And who's coming up here? More Fayetteville's. They got some experience, but no perk yet. That could also be training. This is a massive flank here. Is this the full Union force? Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of that would be keeping the fight this close. I think it's a mistake to... Well, I guess you could push 2 sectors. Alright. We'll have them step up there. I think Buckner Sr. is more or less in the right place. Yeah, I'm not sure they had the morale to make this work. Alright, they've made the decision to withdraw at least some of them. Oh, it looks like to withdraw all of them. So they're already planning to beat feet. Yeah, I always kind of keep the artillery too far away to be useful. Yeah, I don't know what this is. I mean, as always with the AI, either you gotta kind of get up and go with everyone, or you gotta get out of there because you're getting mauled. Clayton Sr.'s had a rough day. He's running low on ammo. Let's move him back. Oh. They're not the only ones running low on ammo. Okay. I think Walthall needs to move up there. There we go. That's what we needed them to do. And it might be time for Buckner Sr. to make an appearance here. Yeah, we don't need them to go there. Oh, they're fighting with those skirmishers. Oh. Clayton Sr. Oh, I was thinking of Buckner Sr. Morale and his brigade. Oh. I was gonna say it probably has to be these guys who have been so heavily engaged. Well, they don't follow orders too well. Oh, and they've turned their backs to the enemy. I have no idea what that is. I know that I did tell them to move. I didn't have an option to move. Oh, did I have an option to move? I'm backwards there? I don't know. Can we actually do this? Alright, that should be fallback right there. There you go. That's what we wanted the first time. Alright. If anything, probably what's helping them is that I have a lot on the objectives, and so they'll probably end up pulling out sooner than if I didn't have all those objective points. It's an odd thing. And I thought there was another brigade. Okay, these guys are... They're gonna pull back, and they're gonna go forward. Man, they emptied their 6 shots pretty quickly there. They don't have anything in their sights. So let's move the rest of this artillery up here. I think Rains can stay where he is. That's fine. These guys are still shooting. It's a good position to hold, but that doesn't do much to help the attack. And I wonder if I've taken as much from objectives as I think. Yeah, 20 points. But they still haven't really been beat out. But I think without those guys also throwing in to keep me from being able to reinforce this position, I don't know how that's going to go. I don't think it's going to work. Alright, they're down to 20 rounds. You can withdraw them for now. Whitfield. Oh, that's got to be Whitfield's skirmishers there. Don't think Ector has sent out skirmishers that have fought yet. I think we sent them out and then recalled them before combat. I want those skirmishers to go hunt that artillery. Sure if we can go prone, but nah, they're not gonna listen. That's alright. Well, that battery, for all its good work, it's lost a number. Alright, we'll have these guys go prone, see if that helps artillery acquire targets. I know they don't want to shoot their friendlies, so sometimes that deters them from trying. Yeah, but that explanation doesn't explain all this. Well, just gonna hold the artillery here in case they do try to attack on the right. It can hold in the open field for a bit. I'm not gonna do too much more than that. So you guys are what? Thoroughly out? Okay, you're thoroughly out of ammo. We'll bring you out. Whitfield's got those Mississippis, so he should be able... Should have been able to fight prone and still be able to hit him. They're not firing. Just shoot at that battery. Yeah, I guess they're sacrificing their artillery to... That sounded like a big volley. Maybe not. Not too sure. Maybe they're just going to try to fight it out to the middle of the day and then withdraw overnight. That wouldn't be a terrible plan. That's interesting. They're going to send the 1st Brigade in now. I mean... Yeah, I mean, we'll happily just switch on to them. Must have been what? The artillery thing? Yeah, under artillery fire, that... Must have been heck of a fire. Alright, so they gotta be recalled. put Walthall there. We'll put Posey there. And we'll keep Jones where he is. Alright, that's them routing, and they almost made it. Oh, Hawthorne got wounded. Hector, maybe we could move him up. I don't know if we'll get a chance to take any artillery here before this fight ends, but we'll think about it. Okay, send some skirmishers to get those and those. Do you? Alright, let's run it out faster here and wrap this episode. Yeah, this one's gone an hour, so I don't really see a way to probably go back and insert War of Rights clips in here. There's stuff I could have cut out, but yeah, I don't think I'm quite ready for that yet. No. We just have to have Walthall tell him. I don't know. Alright, what do we know? 700 kills. So, right, 2,200 off the board for them. And for us, it's 400. I don't know, maybe 650 off the board. So, yeah, it's certainly not bad for us. Right, it allows us potentially to get them out of here. I know they all got to move up. We could take or burn that supply depot. Maybe take Carrollton too, if we can just push on Fort McAllister. So that already happened. I can't imagine what went back there unless that HQ. So this is a pain, because that tells me that there's a force down there that's large enough to capture that. So that is just a pain. Alright, we'll have to deal with that as well. I guess we'll have Hill go up here and do his reconnaissance and force. And see if it's just the First Corps or if there's more. Okay, that Hill there, he is fully resupplied. Or, well, he's resupplied. Maybe we put him on the rails, because over here, he can be on the rails, I think, yeah, looks like the whole way to Corinth. And we ain't got anybody else who can make that trip. So we'll send him. I do see that others are using, I think it's other people are using the rails, so I guess it won't be him, but maybe that's the other hill getting off the tracks. I don't know. But, April, May, June, July. Yeah, so I guess things are moving along here. And, all right, we're going to move in here. Now that we know we don't have to fight, we'll move up with them. We're going to leave Price's Court as it is. I don't know what to tell you to do, man. Maybe that. All right. It's good for me to be back in the saddle. Hopefully you haven't noticed too much of a difference in the posting change. If you are following along as these go up. And yeah, I look forward to bringing you more of these. We'll try to slow down the battlefield zoom speed. And try to get the battlefield victory points maybe leveled out to take account that there might be more of them out there. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed it.